I can get kind of guilty sometimes about it because I want Wayne to be able to have a good night's sleep. He can't sleep because of me waking him up and being so loud. He, doesn't hold it against me. He just gets up and goes to a different room.
So it's time to shut those lights off and get a good night's rest. Sounds like the perfect ending to a great day, right? Well, for millions of Americans, falling asleep is an impossible task because they can't turn off the noise. And I'm not talking about the TV or the traffic or even the baby crying. I'm talking about your partner's awful snoring. And ladies, your husbands are not always the culprit.
Veronica's snoring sounds like a muffler with a hole in it. It's like a mating call, maybe like a wildebeest or something like that.
I've been snoring for as long as I can remember, and I'm very anxious to help make it stop. My daughter, she's 3 years old. When my snoring wakes her up, she'll start saying, "No, no, Mommy, no."
Mommy snores like a monster. It goes round.
My move is always to kind of shake the bed like that. It only works temporarily. At that point, I go ahead and just move on to the next room. Sometimes I can't hear her snoring from the next room. Sometimes all the way to the living room and down the hall. Through the doors. I can hear it.
I try to sleep on my side or on my stomach. I'm not comfortable that way. Eventually, I'll end up turning back over. I've used nose strips and things like that. Of course, he says they don't work. Well, I'm willing to try just about anything so that my husband can get a good night's sleep and not have to, sleep in an uncomfortable couch or guest room. I just want to be able to wake up with him by my side and not wake up and look over and there's nobody there.
Well, I want to have a little fun with this. Clap with me if you're in the audience and you either snore or you've been in bed with a snorer. You're not clapping, Veronica. We all know that you snore.
I thought it was obvious.
Well, we have Dr. Schwimmer from the Snoring Center in Dallas, Texas here to help us with this nighttime nuisance. Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Travis. Thank you.
It doesn't just happen in men, does it?
No, it's really funny because when you talk about snoring, everybody assumes it's just men. But fully a third of our patients are women.
And Veronica is your patient, correct?
She is. Yes, she is.
And all you just want to spend some time with your husband asleep at night and not have him end up on the couch, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it gets lonely when you wake up and there's nobody there next to you. So I would love to, I'm going to try anything to make this go away.
And before we go any further, I want to make it clear to everyone at home and in the audience, you're otherwise healthy.
Oh, yeah.
And we've ruled out serious causes of her snoring, like
Absolutely.
obstructive sleep apnea.
Absolutely. Veronica is simply a socially disruptive snorer. And amazingly, this is so common, 20% of married couples regularly sleep apart because one of them snores. So it's a huge problem, and it leads to all sorts of relationship and intimacy problems. So, we kind of chuckle about it, but it's really a big deal.
So what is the hope in this situation?
The hope is that we can make her snoring quiet enough so that she's back in bed with hubby.
And so there is a potential cure that we want to talk about today.
Absolutely. And treating snoring is something that we ENT doctors have done for 30 years, and pretty much we've always done the same thing. We've stiffened the soft palate or the roof of the mouth because it's vibration of the roof of the mouth that makes the noise of snoring. And what's changed is that over time the procedures have just gotten better, less invasive, less painful, and more effective. And at this point there is a relatively new procedure on the market called the pillar procedure, and it's brilliant.
And we have an animation from Medtronic, the company that makes the pillar procedure available to doctors in the U.S. I want you to show us what's going on here.
Okay, so this video is great because it shows us the roof of the mouth, or the palate. And in the front, the palate is hard, that's the bony palate. In the back, it's soft. And with the pillar procedure, what we do is we take these needles and insert them into the palate or the roof of the mouth and place implants inside. And these implants are really nothing more than stitches. It's permanent suture. It's the same stuff we've been using for 50 years.
And Dr. Goldwyn, you're going to actually help us with this procedure on our stage when we come back from break. And the first thing that you do is you typically look in the back of her throat with the scope.
Absolutely, and we have a scope here so that everybody in the audience can see actually what we're looking at and what we're going to be doing. So
And this is an important thing to mention, is that it's a brilliant procedure because it's not a big deal and it usually works. It is not a miracle cure for everybody. We need appropriate anatomy, so, a doctor needs to look and make sure that this is a good deal for you.
Can we bring this up on our screens, please, for the audience?
So you see the soft palate retracting, and that's what flops back and forth at night, driving other people crazy.
So, Veronica, are you sure you want to do this?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Well, we're going to start numbing Veronica up, and you get to see the results of this procedure in action coming up next.
And that's what flops back and forth at night, driving other people crazy. It's a brilliant procedure because it's not a big deal and it usually works.
So, Veronica, are you sure you want to do this?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Over 45% of Americans snore. That's almost half of our country. And if your spouse is one of those millions, then trust me when I say you might want to sign them up for this cutting-edge procedure. Dr. Schwimmer, what exactly are we seeing Dr. Goldwyn do here?
So now Dr. Goldwyn is actually placing the implants. The delivery device is basically a big curved needle, and it houses the little implant, which truly is nothing more than a stitch. And he'll put the needle into the appropriate place in the soft palate and depress that plunger, and the stitch comes out in the little hole that he's created, and he takes the needle out.
By putting those pillars in there, theoretically tonight she may not snore.
Well, actually, the process really works largely because of scar formation. So
Okay.
we put these stitches in, and they'll stiffen the palate a little bit. But mostly what will happen is over the next couple of weeks, her body will form scar tissue around and between them.
And we're done already.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that.
It takes longer to suture up a wound.
Yes, it's remarkable. Now, and the other point is that Dr. Goldwyn put in 4 implants. And the video, the animation that we saw showed 3. But we know now through experience that more is better. And 3 implants is really not enough for everybody. So at the Snoring Center, typically now, women get 4 or 5 implants, and men get 5, because there's a dose-response relationship. The more you put in, the better people do.
And Veronica, your husband Wayne is here in our audience, right?
Yes, he is.
Hey, Wayne.
How's it going?
You excited to maybe have a few good nights rest with your wife by her side?
Oh, yeah. That was real footage you guys saw there, so it's hard to sleep with that racket going on.
But the important thing here is a fairly safe, simple procedure for people who don't have other problems and issues causing their snoring.
Correct. So for anatomically appropriate patients, the doc's got to look and say, yeah, it's the soft palate. And if that's the case, we've got about a 90% success rate. So it's quite remarkable for such an easy, convenient thing.
And we actually have a little treat for Veronica and Wayne because we wanted them to know that this procedure actually does work in many cases. We have one of Dr. Schwimmer's former patients and his wife on the phone to tell us what you can expect. Hi, Tim and Margie, are you there?
Yes, we are.
Hi.
I kind of joke with my wife that when I originally signed up, I did this more for her than for me. And but now, after going through the procedure and really just witnessing the benefits of a good night's sleep, I'm very satisfied.
Well, and not only are you satisfied, but more importantly, Margie.
Yes.
You're the one who this really affects, right?
Definitely. And Wayne, I started with the shaking of the bed to wake him up, and then I graduated just to a sharp elbow in the ribs, and whatever it took. And now to be able to sleep in the same bed together. The first 10 years of our marriage was that, and I'm looking forward to the rest of our time together, sleeping in the same bed together.
Well, good luck to you two. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day. And we're going to do one last quick thing. I want everyone to see post-procedure the back of Veronica's throat.
And so afterwards, what we see is just a little bit of bruising, but really the only thing that happened is Dr. Goldwyn made 4 little poke holes, and in each of those holes, we placed an implant.
So those holes, those are the 4 holes, and inside of those, there are implants. Veronica, thank you for being our on-stage patient. We wish you the best of luck. Wayne, report back to us and let us know how your sleeping's going, okay?
You got it.
Snoring is a very common condition that affects many of us. Now, another troublesome element that affects a lot of us is located at the bottom of our foot. I'm talking about cracked heels, and we'll let you know how to cure them next.